Hey everybody, Johnny here with JP's RC Workshop again. In this video, I'm going to be doing the TRX4 transmission disassembly and reassembly. One thing that Traxxas was very considerate about is giving you a hole right here on the output shaft or input shaft on your transmission, so when you tighten your spur gear, just slide it and take your spur gear off. Just slide an Allen wrench through there and it will lock up your shaft. So I've taken a little time before the video started to do some preparation. All the screws are the same in the transfer case, so you don't have to keep track of where they go for transmission. You have these three right here. Take off this rear cover, and then you have 1, 2, 3 here, 4 and 5 to take the rest of the transmission apart. Yeah, and we got water in there pretty bad. When you remove these gears, be sure to keep track of your little shims. Those are your front and rear output shafts. This is your main part of the box here. What you hunting for, babe?
An axe. Where my
Not in here. It's out there. Here's take my flashlight and go look.
I have a flashlight with me. I couldn't find
It's
it.
over there somewhere by where the firewood is. Probably propped up against the compressor box.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so we didn't get any water in the main part of the box. So I'm actually going to put this back together without doing anything except adding a little bit of grease, because there wasn't much in it to begin with, and I've never had this apart yet, so just dab a little bit of grease on the gears. The gear mesh itself will spread that around very thoroughly on its own. The bearings on the transmission are still good. Oh, I may have made a mistake. Oh, I am going to be needing to replace part of my transmission. Let's see where those have been stripped off on the edges there.
should have a fire start by the time they get back.
Didn't take us very long.
And we don't want that grass in there. Okay, so slide that fork in there. And drop this back in. No, I have that backwards. Thought that the shaft looked a little long. Okay. Need to make sure you get your shift fork lined up and through the boot right there. I'm just going to reassemble that and then come back and well, actually folks, just going to be reinstalling this pin in this hole right here, and then cleaning this outer housing for the output shafts, and then we will just simply be sliding that cover back on, and oh, this is going to be quite the little chore. There. The pin is back in. So, just going to the water was only in here for a couple of minutes, so I'm actually just going to spray this with a little bit of WD-40. To chase away any water. Dab out the oil, or the WD-40. Put a little bit of grease. In there for the gears. Just using a standard automotive grease. Nothing special. Figure if it's good enough for my truck, it's good enough for my mini truck. Oh. Okay, we're going to try this a different way. Be sure to keep track of your little spacers, or your shims. They are on the pin side. Push that grease down in there a little more. And squirt a little bit of tool oil in there to thin out the viscosity of the grease a little bit, just to keep the resistance on the motor to a minimum. Dab that wet grease out of there. Check your gear selector. Looks like we've engaged low range and there's high range. So our transmission is working properly. I'm going to put these screws in off camera and then I will get back to you with the spur gear. Okay, now we're back. Slid an Allen wrench through the output shaft or input shaft on this. Line up the slipper plate. The slipper pads appear to be in good shape, which is surprising considering I'm running a 4600 kV motor mostly on 3S. Okay, these washers, when you look at them, you'll notice they are slightly dished, and they are they're oriented where the first one will have the dish up or down. The next one will be opposite. So I have the dish up on the first one, dish down on that one, dish up on this one, dish down on this one. So as you tighten them, they will flatten out. That's in lieu of a spring like on the Slashes and Rustlers and others that use that transmission. So we get the nut started on here. Maybe. Okay. Now just grab your T-wrench and tighten this down until those washers are flat. A little too tight. I've turned just a little beyond where they were flat. See, the slipper is slipping when you turn it a fair amount of force, but it won't be likely to slip much with the motor. I like to run my slippers a little tighter than you should, so get it about to what they say and then turn it just a hair more. But there's your transmission, slipper clutch assembled. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment if you have any questions. Please subscribe to my channel. Get out there, have some fun. But just remember, no matter how complex your RC is, as long as you pay attention, don't be afraid to take it apart. That's what it's all about.